Congratulations, Rob. How does it make you feel to be adding your name to the list of the many greats in the WA Racing Hall of Fame?
Well, I'm entirely humbled to be inducted into the Hall of Fame when you see the fantastic individuals that have come before me. It's really a privilege and an honour.
How would you describe yourself as an administrator? The words used in that package you must be so proud of. To reiterate them: a dapper, polite, gracious man, fair, impartial, strong, courageous. They're lovely, lovely sentiments to be said about you. How would you describe yourself as an administrator? Did you usually get your way?
Dapper's not the word I would have used.
I think you look very dapper tonight.
The fact is, it was just plain hard work. When I first started as CEO at Gloucester Park, it was 7 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock at night, and we had to battle very hard. And racing is a hard business for the participants as well as the administrators. It's just a tough sport.
On the administrators as well, it can often be a little bit of a thankless task for the drivers, for jockeys, for trainers. Their names are always up in headlights, but for the administrators behind the scenes, I imagine you are constantly fighting all sorts of battles, be it broadcast rights, be it equitable share of TAB distribution. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. What are you most proud of when you look back at your career from an administration point of view?
Probably the computerisation of records. It was quite brilliant, and the WATA sold the package nationally to all the industry bodies throughout Australia. I was also instrumental in getting WA harness racing on Sky Channel, because what happened was, because we were a night product, Sky Channel weren't really interested. They weren't really interested in the trots, full stop. But the fact was, we put together a television show on community television, 5 hours, hosted by Wes Cameron, and it was 5 hours of television in your house. Every person could pick it up, and eventually we got on Sky Channel, and the cost of that show was quite prohibitive, so it was ceased. But during that time I met some fantastic people and dealt with some brilliant individuals.
You must be really proud then when you look at how far harness racing has come in terms of the broadcast, because here in WA it's quite phenomenal. You were the first to introduce those pre-race interviews on the track, and now it's part and parcel with our every Friday night at Gloucester Park. We're used to seeing the birdcage interviews. It must be lovely to look back and think that you started all of that.
Yeah, well, I can't say I started it all, because when you're part of an administration, you're part of a bigger team, and it's the team members who contributions that really get it all going in the right direction. So I've got the induction into the Hall of Fame, but I could easily share it with a dozen different people.
That's a really nice sentiment. How did it all start for you? Can you take us back to the junior office boy in 1969 and what that role looked like, and what interested you in harness racing at the very start?
I left school and I was looking for a job. It was either an insurance company or Gloucester Park. I spoke to my dad and he said, well, we've been involved with horses. My father raced horses and trained a few. And so I applied at Gloucester Park and I got the job, so which was fortunate to me, and I've enjoyed every minute.
From that time to your retirement, you would have seen some phenomenal horses along the journey. Who's the best horse you ever saw?
That's a hard question, but the most brilliant horse I've ever seen was Mount Eden.
Tell us about the day you backed him.
Well, the guy that I worked with in the office was a punter, and he said, I've got a tip for Kalgoorlie trots. And we were racing, Gloucester Park was racing on the same night. So I put my money on Mount Eden, and you had to go out of the office and the public address system broadcast the Kalgoorlie trots. And sure enough, race started. Commentator says, "Oh, Mount Eden's out of the race. He's lost 100 yards." And so I turned to this guy and said, "You're joking."
You've done
He
your
said,
money.
"I've done my money." And he said, "Just wait." And sure enough, Mount Eden won that race. And from that point on, Mount Eden was a family name in harness racing. It was just a brilliant horse, and he came to Gloucester Park, attracted enormous crowds.
Speaking of attracting crowds, you were at the helm as WA hosted 3 Inter-Dominion Championships, 96, 2004 and 2012. That 2012 one, I'm the Mighty Quinn. Just how big was that?
Well, it was a great crowd and a great finish for Western Australia. I'm the Mighty Quinn, locally owned, trained and driven. It was just so good to watch.
And you retired not long after.
Yeah, I got a bit sick and I had to retire. I did not want to, but sometimes health catches up with you.
I bet you still keep your eye on Gloucester Park on a Friday night.
Yeah, I punt a bit on Gloucester Park, and you can watch it at home on Sky Channel, so you get quite a good coverage on all of the codes actually.
Well, I know you wanted to keep this brief, so I will let you get back to your table. Congratulations, Rob, on being inducted into the WA Racing Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Bovell.